In this section, we are going to talk about using the Graphical User Interface GUI, also known as Web-Based Manager. So first of all, in order to use the Graphical User Interface, you have to connect with a web browser. That's the Graphic User Interface, right? So a Fortigate interface must be configured to allow administrative access, HTTP or HTTPS. We have done this in the first phase when we fired up the quick wizard and also configured the VM to provide administrative access. As an username, we've used admin and no password, and this is by default. To use a different interface, you have to access the GUI, and you either go to network interfaces and administrative access and enable HTTP or HTTPS, or you can do this in the CLI. So it's append, allow access, HTTP, HTTPS. In terms of menus, we'll see that we have quite a lot of menus in the graphical user interface: dashboard, 4D view, network, system, policy and objects, security profiles, VPN, user and device, Wi-Fi switch controller, log report, and monitor. So let's get started and hit the graphical user interface and take a look. So we'll now log in. Remember that we have set admin and admin as username and password. And first thing I want to talk about is how the dashboard is organized. So every little window that you see here, like system information, licenses, administrator, and so on, it's called a widget. And we have the possibility to organize our dashboard the way we want, the way we think it's better for us to have the information available. So for example, the system information provides useful info like host name, serial number, firmware, and so on. But maybe at some point we decide we no longer need this widget. We can go and resize it to make it bigger, and also we can remove it. At this point, we can rearrange our available widgets. It's simple as click, select, and drop. So now we have a new view. But maybe at some point we have decided to have again system information available. So you go just in the bottom right corner, you have the settings option available, and you hit edit dashboard or add widget in this case. So add widget, and now we see what are the widgets available for us to see in the dashboard in the main section. So we hit again system information and close. Now we also have available system information, and we can again click and rearrange it where we want. Now, second thing that I want to talk about is editing the dashboard. So it has a name, we can change this. Let's say XAS Fortinet course. And the layout type, it's responsive and knock. You can select whatever you want. So responsive, the number of columns the dashboard has is determined by screen size. Widgets can only be resized horizontally, but the dashboard will look good on all screen sizes. On the other hand, the knock version, so for the knock version, the number of columns the dashboard has, it's explicitly set. Widgets can be resized both vertically and horizontally, but the dashboard will look best on the screen size it's originally set up. This option works best for a network operations center dashboard. So as we're not in a NOC now, we are in a lab environment, we are learning how to set up and work with FortiGate, I'll just leave it as responsive and click OK. Now you can use every widget in order to also get access to configuration. So for example, if you click on System Information, now we have two options available. So configure systems in System Settings and update firmware in System Firmware. So let's go to System and Settings. And why not change the host name? We haven't done this up to this point, so we can do it now. Fortigate XS course and hit apply. Going back to the dashboard, it's important to understand that not all features are available and visible in the GUI. So the feature select is used to control which features are visible in the graphical user interface. This allows you to hide features that are not being used, and some features are also disabled by default and must be enabled in order to configure them through the GUI. Feature select, on the other hand, only alters the visibility of these features rather than their functionality. So for example, disabling web filtering using the feature select does not remove web filtering from the Fortigate, but removes the option of configuring web filtering from the GUI. And configuration options will still be available using the CLI. Now, enough talking. Let's see where is this feature select available in the GUI. As it's a general option, you will find it in System and go down to Feature Select. Once you have accessed the Feature Select, ensure all features you wish to use are turned on and that features you wish to hide are turned off. So basic features like advanced routing, IPv6, switch controller is disabled by CLI, VPN. Also, the feature set on the security side, antivirus, application control, DNS filter, endpoint control, and so on. So you can see now everything it's available here for you to enable and disable depending on what's your scope. So for a session wrap up, we said in the beginning that if we want to change on what interfaces we can access the graphical user interface, well, this is exactly the place. You go into Network, Interfaces. In this case, we see that we have HTTP and HTTPS available only on port 1, but if we want to choose this and, for example, enable the graphical user interface in port 2 also, we will go on port 2, Edit, and click on Administrative Access, HTTPS, and hit OK. Let's go now on our test PC and see before we hit the OK button if we have connectivity on HTTP, HTTPS. So we can ping our gateway. Yes, we have connectivity to the Fortigate. And maybe we want to see, I don't know if Telnet is enabled. No, it's not. So maybe we want to see if we can access the web interface also from here. No, it's not working. Let's go for an HTTPS. So 192.168.1.1. No, it's not working. 192.168.1.1. Okay, so we see it's not working. Let's go back to the Fortigate. We have now enabled HTTPS on this interface, so we hit OK. Perfect. We now see that we also have ping and HTTPS. Let's go again and try to see if we have connection from this PC. No, let's try HTTPS. Still not working. Remember that when we first installed the VM, it was saying that everything is available but HTTPS. Let's go now on the CLI. So it's admin and admin, show system interface. We see that on port 1 we have set allow access ping HTTPS, SSH, HTTP, and on this one we also have HTTPS. But as you can see, we don't have on port 2 option available to enable HTTP. So that's why HTTPS it's not working. So I'm going now on the CLI and want to also enable on port 2 HTTP. So exactly like on port 1. Config system interface, edit port 2. It's not set, it's append, allow access, and what are the options available? We have HTTP also. Now, as said in a previous section as well, so it will exit this port 2 configuration mode and also save this config. So, and let's see now if we can access it. Yes, so access is now permitted, admin and admin and admin, and we can access the dashboard from this PC as well.